This might be a really bad idea, but we're gonna do it. So I recently found out that my library's Libby app has just recently implemented a random function. So we're gonna do that. That's the whole video. I'm gonna randomly pick a book from the library and then read it. I've messed with it a couple times just to like see what it sort of does, and it provides 1 page of results, which is around 20 books. It includes ebooks and audiobooks and magazines, but we're not gonna talk about magazines. Do people actually read magazines from the library? If you read magazines from the library, I'm very happy for you. It also shows books that are currently available and ones that have to be on hold. So if it's something that I'm gonna have to place a hold on for a long time, then we're probably just gonna skip it. If it has one of the books that I already own, I'm tempted to say I have to read it, but I'm a chicken, so I'm not gonna say that. Let's do it. The Higher Power of Lucky by Susan Patron. Huiz Gnut Kortpitkos. It looks like it's a German cookbook. Tempting, but let's keep going. Outsider by Linda Castillo. Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and it's available. That might be good. Marked Men by Chris Sims. The Gangster by Clive Cussler and Justin Scott. London, the 2015 Guide. Oh, that's a magazine. No, never mind. Never mind. Skipping the magazine. Compulsion by Jonathan Kellerman. Confestics of a Domestic Failure by Budmi Lodatan. That's an audiobook that's 9 hours. That might be okay. Wednesday in the Tower by Jessica Day George. It looks like it's a children's book. Sleeping Giants by Sylvan Newville. I do own that, but I've read it. Heartless by Sarah Shepard. Is this a... Yeah, it's a Pretty Little Liars novel. Number 7 in the series. Not gonna do that. Cricket World Cup 2015. Another magazine. They just love their magazines. That's probably why they added this random function, so that someone would read their damn magazines. North Star by Angeline M. Bishop. Pie Hard by Kirsten Weiss. The Silent Girl by Tess Gertison. The Apartment by Greg Baxter. That's an audiobook that's 5 hours. Let's look at this. Novel about love, memory, exile, and war. Maybe. I'm gonna just tag that one for later. Don't Believe a Word by Patricia McDonald. The Final Kingdom by Michael Northrop. It's number 5 in a series. The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. Am I still on page 1? I feel like I've been going forever. The Water Room by Christopher Fowler. Dinosaurs by Pocket Genius. The Geography of Bliss by Eric Weiner. So I think right now it's between The Apartment by Greg Baxter, because it's a 5-hour audiobook and it looks mildly interesting, and The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I'm gonna go away, do some thinking, and I will be back later with what I decide. Hi, me again. So this video has immediately turned into something different. I have compiled a list of all of the books that the library recommended, minus the magazines. Sorry about that. So that I can go through and make a decision, because some of these actually sound really interesting. First thing I noticed is there are a ton of series. You can see here number 7, number 9, number 22. So I think anything that's not a first in a series is immediately excluded. The other thing that I thought was interesting was the number of ratings here. Ocean at the End of the Lane is obviously the top one, but we get all the way down to Poor Dinosaurs with 37 ratings. North Star 40, 42, like, that's low. That's really low. The other thing that's interesting is the average rating here. So you can see here, though Dinosaurs has the fewest ratings, it has the highest average rating. Does that mean I'm gonna read it? Probably not, because also Marked Men, the second one, 0 interest in that one. So of the ones that I am interested in, Ocean at the End of the Lane is the top one out of 4, which is still like really high. But the one that I was also interested in, The Apartment, has a 3.01, which is very bad. Very, very bad. Does that make me want to read it more? Maybe. The other one that I thought was interesting was this, The Higher Power of Lucky. Let me just open it. It's a, yeah, Newbery Award winner. And this year I read The Giver, which is also a Newbery Award winner, and I totally loved it. So I'm kind of tempted to do this one. There's also Confessions of a Domestic Failure, which also sounds kind of interesting. I don't know, I could be in the mood for some mom humor. So that one's tempting. What I think this has become is a try a chapter tag. I'm gonna pick 4, maybe 5. I do kind of want to read Dinosaurs just a little bit, just to see what's up. I'm gonna try a chapter or a little bit of each book and then pick one. Less random, but it's my video and I'll cry if I want. Which one will make me cry the most? Maybe that's how we should pick things. That's a whole other video. It's a couple days later and I have tried a chapter of 5 books. The first one that I tried was Dinosaurs, which was fun, but not something I wanted to read every page of. It was kind of cool how they had these little like baseball card things for each dinosaur. I did really like that, but we're gonna pass on that one. And I also tried Confessions of a Domestic Failure, and it just really didn't vibe with me. It felt very negative in a deserved way. Like, she was complaining that her husband didn't get up to take care of the baby, and it's like, yeah, you should be pissed, girl. You go. But the tone didn't really land with me, and honestly, there was a part where she went to splash some H2O on her face instead of water, and I was like, you're too extra for me. Not in the mood right now. But the other 3 I did enjoy. So Higher Power of Lucky, The Apartment, and The Ocean at the End of the Lane. So in the spirit of the random function, I am going to just do a random number generator and do one of those 3. So number 1 will be Lucky, 2 will be The Apartment, 3 is Neil Gaiman. It's 1, which is The Power of Lucky. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I feel good. It's gonna be short, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be children's, it's gonna be good. Good morning. It is currently Saturday morning, and I had a fun idea to try to read this book all in one day. I was gonna do one sitting, but that doesn't seem really practical for me. I had the audiobook, and it's 3 hours and 38 minutes, and I never listen at straight speed, but it varies depending on the audiobook, so it'll take me less than 3 hours and 38 minutes. But I thought it'd be fun to try to incorporate some activities into reading this today. So just all of the generic things that you do while listening to an audiobook, like chores, that's the fun one, and going on a walk and doing a puzzle, lying on the floor and staring up into space. We might do that today. Also maybe a bath. It feels like it's too early for that. A bath feels like an evening activity, but you never know. Let's get started.
Listening Library presents The Higher Power of Lucky by Susan Patrone. Read for you by Cassandra Campbell.
Lucky. Great. And it's very strange It's about a kid in the middle of the Californian desert who has a new legal guardian, except not new, and she works cleaning up after like town hall meetings. I don't know, I'm not enjoying it, but also I don't dislike it. It's a very strange thing, and I don't know how kids would feel about it. I don't know, I feel like I've read more interesting things. It doesn't feel like it's poignant, and it doesn't feel like it's fun. I don't know. I took some notes. There were two things. Oh yeah, so it starts off with at the town hall or whatever, there's an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and one of the people there is telling a story about his dog, and I think he got bit by a snake on the scrotum, but Lucky doesn't know what a scrotum is, and wow, they say scrotum many times. That was weird. The other note that I have is, oh, that it feels religious because it's called The Higher Power of Lucky, and so the main character Lucky is trying to find her higher power. Since then there haven't been any overtly religious tones, but I also don't understand what the point is. If it was a religious book, then I would sort of understand what was happening, but I don't. I'll update you again later. Puzzle's going okay. We finished pretty much all of the border. That's not very exciting, but we've only been listening to this for like, I don't know, a half hour maybe? That's pretty good progress. It's a while later. As you can see in the last clip, I was just reading in bed and then oops, I napped. This is a very common thing for me. It is not a problem. It is a feature of how I work. Anyway, I am now 72% of the way through. I think the plot is just starting to pick up, where Lucky is planning on running away to convince her guardian to stay with her. Is it good logic? No. But it seems like that's where the plot is going. There was also a bit that I wanted to show you. So I'm listening now at 2.2 speed. I slowly speed it up through the course of listening to something once I get used to the narrator. And I thought this bit was very good at that speed.
Why do you call me your flea anyway? Lucky said, rubbing the ice cube over her forehead and cheeks. Is it because I bite you and suck your blood or what? Oh la 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 la. When Brigitte was a little bit upset.
It's just, it's out of nowhere and it's very aggressive, and I think it is very funny. It's fine. It's not bad, but do I like it? Not really. Honestly, it's reminding me a lot of, this is it, right? Yeah, The Glass Castle. This is a story about a family where the parents didn't really look after the kids and the kids sort of had to learn for themselves. It's a memoir. And one of the places that they live is the desert, which is where Higher Power of Lucky is based. And I find a lot of similarities there, but this is better. Definitely not for children, but it gives me a lot of the same vibes. I've got probably about a half hour left on the audiobook at the speed that I listen to it. So I'm gonna go on a walk and finish it up.
We hope you have enjoyed this unabridged production of The Higher Power of Lucky by Susan Patron.
So I finished it and I wanted to go back to the Goodreads to see sort of what I was getting myself into. I never read synopses, so I wanted to check. And it says, believing that her French guardian is about to abandon her to an orphanage in the city, 10-year-old Lucky runs away from her small town with her beloved dog by her side in order to trek across the Mojave Desert in this Newbery Medal Award-winning novel from Susan Patron. That happens. My last update was about she has now decided to run away at the 72% mark. What's the rest of the book about? And it's kind of nothing. She has a couple of quirky friends that are mildly interesting, but it's mostly about her guardian and their relationship, but even not that deep. I was honestly really surprised that it was a Newbery winner. So I just looked it up, and most of the Wikipedia page is around the controversy with the word scrotum being included in it, which, who cares? That's not a controversy. It's ridiculous. Maybe the controversy helped it like get more eyes on it and it found its audience, but I really don't feel like there's much to work with there, especially compared to the other middle grade that I read. Like, I compared it to The Giver earlier because that's the other Newbery winner, and those are so incredibly different and so differently plotted. Or even things like Arusha and the End of Time. This is newer, granted, but it's leaps and bounds above that book, and I don't think this won a single award, which is a damn shame. Do I have any other middle grade that I've read recently? Oh yeah, I have Agatha Audley, which I read last year, and this wasn't great, but it had a much stronger plot than Power of Lucky. Like, it was coherent, and the character went on a real journey and had an adventure. I didn't even feel like there was an adventure in there. It felt like part of the Glass Castle, that they just took the desert chapters from here and kidified them, which sort of made them lose all of their soul. I'm just looking into the Newbery Award a little bit right now, just for my own curiosity. And The Higher Power of Lucky won in 2007. And I noticed that before that a lot of straight whites had won. A good amount of women, just by nature of children's stuff. But as of 2021, the past 7 winners, 5 of them have been people of color. So they're definitely making progress there. I'm not writing off the Newbery Award completely, but maybe stick to newer stuff. In conclusion, I guess this is the wrap up. I don't really have anything more to say, although I am kind of pleased with how this turned out because Hidden Power of Lucky was the first option on the library list. So in a way I did completely let randomness rule while still feeling like I was in a little bit of control. But in conclusion, the library's random function is fun. I enjoy messing around with it. Even while I wasn't filming this video, I would just play with it sometimes because it was fun. But as for the Hidden Power of Lucky, I think it's gonna be 2 stars. Yeah, I think it's 2 stars because I'm never gonna remember it. I'm never gonna recommend it to a child. If anything, it made me want to read The Glass Castle again. That's a great book. I would recommend that one if you're down for a sad time. But if you're down for a absolutely nothing time, if you just have 3 hours and 38 minutes that you want to kill, sure, read this book, but I wouldn't really recommend it. Anyway, that's the video. I hope that you had a good time. Please investigate the random function just because I think it's funny. And you might get a kick out of it too. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!